What was I saying? This means this is not funny. This means this is my business shirt. It's time to get down to business. Hey y'all, it's time for another story. I still can't believe this happened to me, and I like to just like drop it in conversations just because it's so shocking and it's fun to see people's reactions. It's not what you would expect. Just wait till you hear this story. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it's really stuck with me, and it's still crazy to think it was 3 years ago and I still can't believe it actually happened. So I like to share the story because it's a good party anecdote. My favorite thing is to be like, I got hit by a car once and people are like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And it's so fun to like shock people. Here for you guys is the real, full, uncut story of what happened the day I got hit by a car. So, sophomore year of high school, doing whatever sophomore Nat did, which is probably a lot of really lame stuff. But sophomore year of high school, I think it was like middle of the week, like a Tuesday or something, and it was Cinco de Mayo. And I only tell you that fact so that you know that the parking lot of my school was full and super busy because there was a big Cinco de Mayo festival going on in the theater. I'm walking through the parking lot to my sister's car where she's picking me up. Around my sister's car, a bunch of our friends, and we're all just hanging out like you do in the parking lot after school because that's the place to be. And one of my friends pulls her car out of its parking spot, and I do the classically funny move of when you stand in front of somebody's car and you're like, you can't go anywhere now. Don't do that to people. It is so annoying and you will get hit by a car. I walk around to my friend's window, and she had just pulled out of her spot backwards. She hadn't straightened her car out yet. She was kind of like perpendicular to the rest of the parked cars. So I go to her window, probably gonna say some super funny Natalie joke, and as I'm opening my mouth to speak, I see my friend's eyes get wide and she yells, "Oh my God!" And I turn to look and see what had happened, but before I can finally turn around, I feel pressure on my knee. And when I look down, I realize that I am stuck between a car that is backing up and the driver's door of my friend's car, and it is slowly crushing my knee into pieces, and I am completely stuck. And it was immediately so painful, and without any thought, I just started screaming. Like nothing else could come out of my mouth. And I remember I'm hitting the trunk of the car that is backing into me, trying to say, "Get off me!" And homeboy pulls forward just a little bit, enough that I can kind of get out, and I immediately just fall to the ground, and I am losing my mind. I'm just screaming because I can't even process what had happened to me. And at this point, my knee goes numb. You know, the drama is flooding my body, and I can't feel my knee anymore. And all my friends come around me, and they're like, "Are you okay? Are you all right?" And I can't even talk, and I'm just screaming still, just screaming and screaming. And then I finally stop screaming and start hysterically laughing. I could not get a grip on myself. Like I needed to pull it together. And my friends were so concerned. They were like, "What? Like it's not funny?" And I was like, "It hurts so much, ha!" And they were probably so annoyed with me because I was sending mixed signals. My sister gets on the phone with my parents, and all I hear is, "Natalie got hit by a car." And my parents are probably freaking out because that sounds so different from what had happened. And that's when it dawns on me, like, I got hit by a car. And I start screaming again. My emotions are just running wild, and I'm screaming, and then I'm laughing, and then I'm crying, and then I'm laughing again, and it's crazy. More people come, my principal comes, and he starts poking at my knee. Bro, he was hoping that it wasn't that bad because he didn't want like the school to get sued or anything. So he's like, you're fine. Poking at my knee that had just been pinned between two cars. The fire truck comes, the EMS comes. I hear my parents running around, my mom screaming, "Natalie, where are you?" And my dad saying, "I'm her father and I want to know what's happening." And there's just chaos. And the parking lot is filling up with kids from my school trying to see what's going on. And remember, Cinco de Mayo had happened, so there's people everywhere. Eventually, they got me on a stretcher, and when they lifted me up, I looked, and there were just seas of my classmates. All eyes are on me. So I get in the ambulance. They can't find a vein to hook up an IV to give me medicine. So remember, the adrenaline had worn off, and I was convinced my leg was broken in half. They're poking around in my arm, and they can't find the vein. And I looked up at the nurse, and I said, "Do you have like any medicine you could give me?" In my most polite needle sticking out of my arm and still no medicine. Get to the hospital, and when I realized that my sister might not be with me anymore, I lost it. So now I'm bawling, and the most attractive male nurse I have ever seen comes in. Homeboy belongs on Grey's Anatomy. Who paid you to act out a scene in which you're my nurse? Because you're beautiful. So now I'm all embarrassed, trying to wipe my tears off as if that's something I could do. He sits down next to me and he says, something scary happened to you today, didn't it? And I'm like, yes, Mr. Nurse, please hold me till it's all better. And I kid you not, homeboy takes a tissue and wipes my tears for me as I stare into his beautiful eyes. And then I realize he's about 20 years older than me and it's time to go. But eventually I go home. I'm on crutches for about 3 weeks and all is well. I still have a bruise on my knee, like permanent bruise on the bone of my knee, and it's hella painful some days, but somehow I manage. But yes, that is the craziest heck story of when I got hit by a car. Make sure when you're backing up, look behind you because there might be a human being back there with a knee that can get hurt. But anyway, just make sure you're safe when you're driving, when you're hanging out with your friends and being goofy, because cars are heavy and they can hurt. Thanks for sticking around to hear my story. I hope you learned something from my ridiculousness, but keep it real, stay happy, and we'll see you guys next time. Something funny, Linda.